Welcome to Gulfstream Park. It is February 8th, 2014, and a huge weekend here in southern Florida. Christina Bosanak is here with our man, Mike Welsh, from the Daily Racing Forum. And Mike, so much happening, beautiful weather, and I know that some action earlier on this morning.
Yeah, a little too early for me, but I was there as Mucho Macho Man, as promised by Kathy Ritvo, came out and worked a little after dawn this morning. It was his first work since he won the Sunshine Millions, which was basically a work in itself that day, just a public workout. He went an easy half mile this morning in 46 and 4/5 seconds. Don't let the time fool you. The track was really fast this morning. We probably had 10 horses that worked in 46 and change or even quicker than that for half miles or on the way to their 5/8 clockings. But it was the way he did it. He couldn't have done it any easier. He was reaching out beautifully. Galloped out nicely into the turn. He's trained really well here coming out of the Sunshine Millions, and now we're just waiting for a decision on where he's going to run next. It's either going to be the Santa Anita Handicap or the Dubai World Classic.
And interestingly enough, I was also very early, maybe not as earlier as Mr. Welsh here, but I was also on the backstretch. I went to speak to the big man, Dwayne Lucas, and he's arrived in town. And Will Take Charge will be running tomorrow in the Grade 1 Dawn. And, you know, it was interesting, Mike, because I saw Will Take Charge on Wednesday when he first got here. He got here Tuesday morning, and he was a little bit hot that day. Today he really looked great. Didn't get warm. He's just such a cool, tractable horse. And Wayne looks pretty good.
I know Wayne didn't get hot. That's for sure. He never sweats. But you know, a lot of these horses are coming here from out of town. It's hot here now. We saw the same thing when Groupie Doll first got here. She was getting a little hot in the mornings, but not so much now. I saw it with Honor Code when he first came down from Payson. You know, that's still 90 miles or 100 miles north of here, so it's not quite as warm up there as it is here. And he got hot the first few mornings as here, not as much now. So not surprising coming over from Oakland where it's been cold and nasty that he might have got a little heated up in the morning. But apparently everything is fine with him, and it's going to be a great race tomorrow. Look, I mean, he's the horse to beat. There's no doubt about it. But he's carrying a high weight. It's his first start in a while. He's never run over this racetrack. So if you're a handicapper, there are probably reasons to try to beat the favorite in that spot, but if Will Take Charge were to win, it certainly would not surprise me or probably not many other people as well.
You know, I spoke to Wayne about that, and he did say that he thought he was going to be a little bit more forwardly placed tomorrow. And in terms of the way the track's been playing, he didn't really foresee it to be a big problem. However, again, a top quality horse, top quality field, and plenty to look forward to. But today we do have a great card on tap, 12 races. We also have a carryover in the Rainbow Six, just under $500,000. So, Mike, let's just jump into the races. We've got a lot of ground to cover. We'll kick off with the opener, which is a 12-5 claiming event, 6 furlongs on the main track. I went with number 4, Mythic, from the Wayne Catalano barn, and pretty big drop coming into this.
A huge drop down, and you know, it's always a question mark when trainers drop horses like this. Some barns you could get away with, you know, do it more often than others, and do it successfully because they're such vast stables. They have so many horses that they don't think are going to make it on a higher level. They just don't mind getting rid of, win their race, win the purse, get them claiming money, and move on.
Right.
So that might be the case with Mythic today. Look, he broke his maiden for $50,000 2 starts back, and that wasn't that long ago. So if he can run anywhere close to that race, he's going to win this race. F5 Movement, the horse to beat. Improved off the claim with the addition of blinkers, moving in the Kirkzadie's barn as most horses do. They spotted him well coming off of that race. It's just a matter of Mythic is going to run back to his maiden winning race, or if he's on the downslide now. And if he is, then if she is, then F5 Movement will probably win. But I prefer Mythic as well in this spot.
And there is one scratch in that first race, and then number 7, Misfire. Moving on to the second race on today's card, which is a 12-5 maiden claiming event, 6 furlongs on the main track. There is a scratch in number 7, Bella Vision. 1 jockey change, number 4, Alex Solis is aboard. And I went with number 8, Clack, from the Ralph Nix barn. And exchange rate, this is a filly by exchange rate. First time on the turf, or ran on the turf in her debut, now on the dirt, and I think that's an okay transition.
Yeah, it's a big drop down for him, but for her. But I like one of the first timers in here, either Hot Cotton or Mimi Track. Both of them are from high-profile debut barns, Kirkzadie and Wesley Ward. You know they're going to have them ready to run first time out. Hot Cotton has shown speed in the morning from the gate and from the pole, and from an outside post should come away running okay. Mimi Track is half to 6 other winners from the Wesley Ward Bond, has also showed some speed in the morning. So I just thought one of these two are being spotted first time out to win. Probably you'll lose them. I'm going to guess there'll be claims in for both of them. Just that's the way it goes here. When these outfits run horses for cheap money, somebody usually steps in and takes them. But I think one of them will come away a winner today.
And both of those trainers always place their horses so well, so competitively. So you have a really good feeling, in putting your faith behind them.
And both those trainers get overbet too. So you can probably take the worst of it from a value standpoint. It's just a matter of which one is going to get bet more than the other in here. I'm sure one of the two will go post with the favorite, if not both vying for favoritism at some point.
And that race, too, that does kick off the early pick 4. On to the third race on today's card, which is a maiden special weight, a mile and a 16th on the turf course. And my top, there is one scratch, number 11, Make It Anywhere. My top selection, number 7, Secret Jewel. This is a very well-bred, expensive daughter, 4-year-old daughter of Bernardini, and $1.2 million at the Keeneland September sale. And for good reason, she's a half to shared interest and shared account, who won the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Turf. So I went with a bit of a breeding aspect there, and obviously Bill Mott.
Yeah, she's the logical choice in here. I mean, teach the class of the field. She finished second to Bella Castani, who I like later in a much better race. That was actually a major key race. 4 horses came out of that race to win their next starts. Everything being equal, that should be my pick automatically. The only concern I have, and other than the fact that she's probably going to be a pretty short price, is she's been away a long time, and she's done most of her training on the farm, not with Bill Mott. She only shows 2 works since moving in with Bill at Payson Park. So just in the back of my mind, I thought maybe there's a chance she's going to need one race coming off the layoff, since she hasn't been training with Bill. She's been training at the farm, but I'm sure they can get her ready too. I took Pleasant Cat. This horse is coming off her best race yet. She's been a maiden a long time, but a big improvement last time. She ran well despite the fact she got hung wide and she finished on the wrong lead. So if she could do things right better today from an inside post, get a little better trip, and maybe switch leads down the stretch and run a little better than last week, maybe she could finally get that maiden diploma today. So I went with Pleasant Cat. Cat should be a little bit bigger price than the 7th, so that was my reasoning there.
And on to the 4th race on today's card, which is a maiden special weight event, a mile and 16th on the turf. And here we've got the boys running in here. There is blinkers on for number 2, Patrol Like a Champion. I went with number 4, Picosa, who finished actually second behind Ironicus, who ran a pretty good race yesterday.
Yeah, no, I mean, logically, Picosa's the one to beat. Got the lead, had the lead at mid-stretch. You don't see many Todd Pletcher horses lose the lead when they get it at the stretch. It's usually the other way around. If you got the lead and they're right on you, they're going to pick you up. But Picosa did lose the lead, but lost it to a good horse, Ironicus. So if this horse could just move forward off of that race, I think Picosa should win it. But there are some unknown factors in here. One of them is Giant's Passion, a first-time starter for Chris Clement. We know Chris Clement can have these horses ready coming off of the Payson Park Training Center. This horse is a half to Precious Passion, one of the top turf horses in the world for a couple of years, back several years ago. The only other thing is this mare, even though she also threw Precious Passion, threw a couple other horses who never won. So you just never know what you're going to get. But I'm guessing this horse has some ability. If it's good enough to win first time out against Picosa, I'm not so sure, but you got to respect it. And then you have 2 horses from Bill Mott's barn, Super Fast and Tourist, both of whom have run okay on the dirt. Now they're running on the grass for the first time, so you really don't know. Again, unknown factors here too, how they'll take to the turf.
Well, you mentioned the number 1, Super Fast, the colt by Broken Vow. I like the Broken Vows, actually, on the turf. And it cost $500,000 and is a half to Uncle Mo, 2-year-old champion. So breeding, and I used that horse as well. Looking ahead to the 5th race on today's card, which is a 50,000 maiden claiming event, 1 mile on the main track. Kicks off the late pick 4. And my top, there was one scratch, number 6, Duke of Ritchie, and my top selection in there, number 3, Coldwater Flat.
I went with the other Chad Brown. I actually went with both Chad Browns, 1-2 in here. For goodness sake, ran first time on the turf, didn't break well, checked after the start, and then was down along the rail all the way, and it didn't look like he wanted to run inside horses as he was kind of checked back, eased back out of contention on the turn before making up a little ground through the stretch once getting clear. Drops down, goes to the dirt today. Inside again, though, so that could be a little bit of an issue. But I thought on the class drop and with a race under his belt at this level, maybe good enough to win. Coldwater Flat debuts today for Chad. Looks like he's working okay up there, so you know this one's going to be dangerous and fit and ready to go off the layoff. And Petruski is the logical choice. This horse has run in 3 consecutive sprint races and chased some pretty good Florida breds home so far in sprints. Now he's stretching out. That's the big question mark here. Will Petruski go a mile at what figures to be a pretty short price?
Looking ahead to the 6th race today, which is a mile and a 16th on the turf course. It is an allowance optional claiming event with a $75,000 claiming price. And my top selection, number 3, Miss Bessalou. She cost $2.6 million at Keeneland November, and very well related. She's a half to a Horse of the Year and a Breeders' Cup Classic winner, and that's St. Liam. She comes out of a really nice race, Mike. She was second in the Ginger Brew behind a nice filly, I think, Candy Kitty, who's proving to be a very nice type. And she was really hung out wide last time.
Yeah, that's what I liked about her. The way she kind of kept coming and coming, even though she was hung out wide and have every right to quit through the stretch, and it was an improved effort off her first start. That race where she got away with supposedly a very slow pace. A lot of us are still questioning the fractions of that one, but she ran an improved effort last time against Stakes Company. Now she drops down. I think we have a tape of the stretch run of this race. We're supposed to, because I also wanted to look at the trip the number 9 Cool Faith had in here. You're going to see Miss Bessalou close up on the outside, challenging all the way here. You can see her outside there, sitting second, number 9 in the red. But if you look at the horse in the middle of the pack, in the yellow hat with the little stripe trying to come between horses, this horse is going to take up very sharply, coming in between horses right here. Gets pinched really hard. She had also got taken up on the turn. So I think she has every right to come on and run well. Here comes Miss Bessalou on the outside. Can't match strides with the winner. Number 11 is Miss Bessalou. But I also put Cool Faith in here. I think she might be a little bit of a sleeper off of the trip she had last time. But Miss Bessalou is my top choice, and I wouldn't ignore Sea Queen. Sea Queen has only started once. She won a maiden special weight first time out at Saratoga. The horse she beat that day included Candy Kitty, who was the winner of the race we just saw there, and also Kitten Caboodle, who is now a Grade 3 winner on turf. So Sea Queen has every right to be every bit as good as the ones in here. She is coming off a layoff, though. Maybe she'll need a race. That's why I picked her second behind Miss Bessalou, who has been running and who has a race over the course.
I'm glad you mentioned number 9, Miss Cool Faith, because I like her as well. And for those of you to note, those first 2 races she made at Woodbine were against Colts in the Cup and Saucer top class Canadian race for the future Triple Crown runners. So she was running, keeping very good company up there. Looking ahead to the 7th race on today's card, which kicks off the 20-cent Rainbow Six. And we said that there is a carryover just under $500,000. And my top selection in there, I found this a very competitive race. I actually went with number 9, Good News is No News. Cost $250,000 at the Keeneland September sale. And this is a 3-year-old colt by Giants Causeway, very well related. He's a half to a graded stakes winner, Sea Free, and also Fly Down.
Yeah, the biggest problem, the 2 biggest problems he might have is breaking from post 9, going a mile and a 16th. I want everybody, mile and an 8th too. Very short run to the first turn. We don't get many winners from post 8 and out in those races. Also, he's kind of a late running plodding horse, and this is a track that could favor speed today. Now, there could be some speed up front that would set it up for him, and he's also an improving horse trained by Todd Pletcher, so there's no doubt that Good Time can win this race. But I went with Bay of Plenty. I thought this horse ran really well in his debut. Broke slow, hung in there to finish second behind Gambler's Ghost, who was loose on the lead all the way around. The horse that finished third in that race, Ragtime, came back to win impressively in a maiden special weight sprint here last week. Nice post inside. There's not an overabundance of speed in here. I think if they want to, Joe Bravo could maybe even put Bay of Plenty on the lead. Might get some company from Legend. I hope there's not a duel, but I look for Bay of Plenty to race forwardly placed, and if he can move forward off that last race, he should handle 2 turns. He's a half to Fortify, who was a route winner. So, and Legend was my second pick, a nice debut, going a mile, chased home Vince Ramos. Kind of got a little tired at the end, probably needed the race. Looks like he should handle the stretch around to 1 mile and a 16th. So I'm going inside. When in doubt in these mile and 16th races, I go inside. I go 2 and 4, trying to beat the 9. But all 3 of them, I think you got to use them in your pick 5s, pick 6s, and whatever other picks you're playing in this sequence.
At the same selections as you, just in a different order. On to the 8th race on the card, which is 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. It is a 35,000 allowance optional claiming event and kicks off the pick 5. And I went with number 2, Tarpey Surprise, and looks likely to be showing speed in here.
Yeah, I would think so. There's not a lot of speed in this race. There are some question marks in here with Wabajack and My Name is Michael. Both these horses have stakes experience, especially My Name is Michael, but both of them have been idle for quite a long time, while Tarpey Surprise is coming off a good second-place effort behind Anawi for Kieran McLaughlin, a highly regarded horse for Kieran McLaughlin's, who was even money, went wire to wire. Tarpey Surprise, no match, but was second best in there. Come back with a beautiful work here since that race. Showed a lot of speed in the morning and did it easily enough. So I'm hoping that Corey Lannery will take the initiative, put this horse right on the lead from his inside post, which is an advantage. You might as well use it if you've got it. And hopefully Tarpey Surprise can outlast My Name is Michael, Wabajack, and Fast Falcon is getting blinkers today. Didn't finish that far behind Tarpey Surprise last time. Maybe the blinkers will make a big difference with him. This horse has a tendency to hang. He's a non-winning type. I think he's won for about 20, although about 15 of those 20 races came in Stakes Company. When he runs in A other thans, he's usually competitive. Maybe the blinkers will be enough to put him over the edge.
And now we're going to look at race 9, which is, this is the late pick 4, and we do have a scratch in there, number 5, Kipling's Joy, and it is a 62.5 allowance optional claiming event, 1 mile on the turf course. And Mike, what did you do?
I picked Bella Castani. I mentioned her before. This horse really impressed me here last year when she broke her maiden with a huge run. Granted, it was a maiden race, but she's come back and gone on since then and progressed a little bit through the allowance races, had some stakes experience. She's been freshened up since getting hung wide throughout in the risk-averse. I just like her back here over this course in this allowance spot, coming off of that bit of a freshening by Christophe Clement. Prophetesa, to me, is a big question mark in here. I'm going to defer to you on the breeding on this horse, but it's her turf debut today. She looks like she could be loose on the lead if she wants to be, and you combine that with the fact that if she handles the grass, might be a sleeper.
You know that AP Indy and over an Unbridled Mare doesn't necessarily scream out turf to me, and I didn't use her in this top performance because I'm with you. I didn't know what to make of that last race. So I think with her, I'm going to take a wait and see how she does take, if she does take to the turf this time.
Right. And Kitten's Point is an obvious choice in here, but she hasn't run in a while also. This is a pretty tough spot for a horse coming off a layoff, but she is a grade 3 winner over the course, so you have to respect her. And I also thought Quay would be a horse you might want to use if you're spreading in your pick 5s and pick 6s. This horse went back to the grass last time. It ran a pretty good race, beating A other thans. This is a step up, but I think that was the best race number-wise of her career, so this horse is moving forward and may handle the jump with the clean trip.
And on to the 10th race on today's card, which is the first of 2 graded stakes. It's the Grade 3 Swanee River, mile and 16th on the turf course. And there are no scratches thus far. Larry Colmus will be on in just a few minutes to give us all the updated scratches and changes. I went with number 2, Piranda. Likely, and I'm hoping is going to be showing speed in here today. Coming into this off of a pretty impressive win last time in the Sunshine Millions, filly and mare turf. We can have a look at that race. And Mike, in terms of where the speed's going to be coming from, we know Abaco is going to be coming from out of it. This filly looks likely to be at least on or near the front.
Yeah, I asked trainer Rodolfo Garcia what his strategy might be, because it's the first thing that struck me, and you watch her winning this race quite easily, but no comparison in the quality of the field she beat there and the quality of the field she's going to face today. But she could have that pace advantage. There is no speed in this field whatsoever, and like I said, I asked Rodolfo Garcia. He said he's going to let Jose Lezcano play it off the break. This horse faced a similar situation this summer in the Our Dear Peg stake, and they did put her on the lead, and she did go on to win from dueling and then drawing off again against much inferior competition than she faces today. Abaco, to me, stands out in here on class, on her figures. She got hung very wide last time and really didn't kick in a race that originally wasn't on her schedule, but she was doing well, so Shug McGahee put her in that race, and she just flattened out late after a wide trip. That's going to be the issue with her today. She better not get too far back because the pace is going to be slow. She's the best horse in here, but there's always that pace factor you have to overcome. So I would not single her in here. I would definitely use Piranda. And Riposte, a giant question mark, coming off some big races in Europe, but a mile and an eighth is a distance a little bit, looks like it a little bit short for her. And she may have some gait problems too. If you look at her trouble lines in Europe, I see a couple of dwells, I see an off slow, so she may not break with the field either. So that, again, a huge question mark, but I wouldn't throw her out completely.
And she's off well-bred as well. She's a half to Arlington Million winner, Powers Court, and also to the Dam of Frankel, a superstar for the Juddmonte stable. On to the 11th race on today's card, which is the Gulfstream Park Sprint. It is a Grade 3 event, 7 furlongs on the main track. And my top selection, I went several, Mike, I was really going each way, one way and another in this race, and I went with number 1, Laugh Track. Really great performance in the Breeders' Cup, in the Breeders' Cup Sprint back in November. November 3rd, though, didn't handle, it seems, maybe the distance in the Cigar Mile last time.
Well, he had a bad trip in the Cigar Mile. He got knocked around pretty good along with Groupie Doll. There was some crowding in there, so I wouldn't hold that race against him. What I might hold against him is a bit of a layoff in post 1 coming off that layoff. So the trip is questionable, and he will be a short price. This race is a terrific race. It's a terrific betting race, so I don't want to settle for too short a price. I picked Sing Another Song, although I look at all the expert selections, everybody seems to like Sing Another Song, so maybe I'm going to be settling for a short price here. I don't have to bet him at that short price, but I am picking him. This horse is in great form. He looks like he could be the controlling speed. He dueled last time going 3/4 and then drew away to win the Mr. Prospector. Theoretically, it should be easier for him to make the lead going 7 than going 6. Like I said, he's in terrific form. He likes the track. So all that being equal, I went with Sing Another Song. Jackson Bend, I picked second. This horse loves to be down on the inside. He loves going 7/8 of a mile. He hasn't won in a long time, but he is a 2-time Grade 1 winner, and he also seems to be cycling back to good form. So the trip with him is everything. K-Tron is a giant question mark to me. Unbeaten, unchallenged, but nothing. He's faced nothing like he's going to face today. He's really going to have to move forward significantly from a figure standpoint, no matter what you use, sheets, buyers, whatever. Can he do it? Certainly he can do it. He looks a little bit like Gradar, who won here, the Don here last year, coming off of only a couple of races, and it is Todd Pletcher. But again, if he's a short price, I'm going against him. I like Sing Another Song. I like Jackson Bend, Laugh Track, Brewerdale Arrows. There's a lot of ways you can go in here.
And looking ahead to the final race on today's card, which is a $25,000 allowance optional claiming event, 5 furlongs turf course, and number 11 Law Dog has been scratched. I went with number 6 Band of Joy, was a third by a neck last time. I really felt he should have won that day. I was heartbroken that he didn't, because I really thought he was going to win.
Yeah, that was a strange race because that horse is usually up near the lead, and he didn't show his speed that day, and he came from way out of it and still ran very well. I don't know what to expect from him today. Will they keep those tactics, let him run from off it, or are they going to let him show his speed and stay up close? That's a question in here. I took Awakino Cat, the old veteran. This horse has won a couple of times over the track, was a little overmatched last time, dropping into a more conducive spot, should sit just off the pace, should get a good trip. We got to get out of here. Awakino Cat, Band of Joy, Kingston Bay, 46 and change worked for this, but was all out. This horse is consistent, will run a good race.
Well, that's it for myself and Mike Welsh. Thank you, Mike.
My pleasure. It should be a great day.
And we have a great day, a great weekend. I will be back for the rest of the afternoon with one Mr. Ron Nicoletti. So, folks, please join us. Great day.
Good luck, everybody.